Hey everybody, welcome back. So today is Monitor Lizard Day. Now those of you guys that keep up with us, you know about Niles, our Nile monitor, and you may notice, if you missed the last video, that his enclosure looks a little bit different. We can close that off, keep him in his tub in his basking area, and we've got this area to work with our new Asian water monitor that's here. So I want to take some time to introduce you guys to him, and we're going to go over some stuff about handling monitor lizards that you may or may not know. But it's always fun, especially with one that's as cool as this guy is. So you won't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back on Intrepid Exotics.
Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics.
It'll take me just a second to get everything put together here for him. Get the camera moved up so you guys can see everything. Let's get this opened up. I want him to do as much of this stuff on his own as I can get him to do. He's going to pretty much be compelled once we start getting a little bit closer. He's going to want to start exploring more stuff. There comes the foot. And like I say, he's still a little bit leery, new surroundings and all that other stuff, but like I say, he's doing really good. You just give him enough time, let him feel like it's all their idea. There you go, bud. There's our good boy. Now the only thing is that when these guys first start coming out, they like to get as high as possible. So it's not going to take very long once they start doing this. Sometimes they'll try and shoot up on your head just to get height. So while I've got him down here on my arm, I'm going to get him right behind the legs on the tail. And we're going to pick him up. And of course, they're going to hang on a little bit, and now he's going to start getting a little bit uncomfortable and wanting to climb up. And if he does that, they're really hard to get off of your head. So I'm just kind of holding him back a little bit. Come on, bud. And he's going to want to hang on for dear life. But see, I'm really not worried about him biting me or anything. It's just, they're like Velcro, man. They will stick to you. So we're going to let him relax. He's a little tense being up and being held and whatnot. We're going to let him relax and see if I can get him interested in his house over here. You're right, bud. You're right. You want to go check stuff out? There you go. There you go. See, it's all your idea. There you go. All right. So I guess you guys can see everything. Right now he's behind the water tub. No, you can't go out there. You can't go out there, bud. Sorry. You're okay. You're okay. So this is our new friend. Sit up there. Now, like I said, I'm sure a lot of you guys know Niles. He's the Nile monitor. About 6 feet long on the other side of this wall right here. Well, this guy is an Asian water monitor. And you'll hear a lot of us talk about how unruly Nile monitors can be. Those African monitors tend to be a little spicier, a little bit more reactive, a little bit less trustworthy. And of course, this guy is intent on getting out and exploring the rest of the house. But we're not going to let him because he will get hurt. But this is an Asian water monitor. These are the ones from the other side of the globe. And these guys can be so much fun to work with. They're known for having a lot better disposition, being a lot easier to socialize in a lot of cases. And I'm not really making a video on socializing with him because this is a socialized animal for all intents and purposes. Aubrey brought him over here Saturday, and you know, he's had a couple different transitions. It goes into a couple things that we'll talk about in a minute. But so he got over here Saturday, and I've just had really minimal interactions with him inside his enclosure. Just because I'm, not wanting to stress him out, not wanting him to, I wanted to give him a few days to just kind of get comfortable, get used to seeing me down here, get used to the new environment and all that other stuff. And he's done pretty good. So tonight I wanted to bring him out and let him run around in here and get a little bit better interactions with him. One thing that you'll hear from some people when you talk about, getting monitor lizards that are socialized already. And, one thing that I can say, he's one of Kevin's from Nerds. And if you've ever watched any of Kevin's videos on socializing monitors, he starts these guys right out of the egg. He's got that philosophy that nothing is sacred, which means that you get them used to being touched anywhere. They just get used to the contact so that they're not frightened, they're not defensive, and they don't want to rip you to pieces. So, the big thing that really ties in with that is if you're ordering, and whether you're going to pick them up or whether you're ordering them and having them shipped to you, monitor lizards, especially Asian water monitor lizards, where you're told they're really well socialized and they're really, relaxed and easy to handle and all that, you got to understand that's in the environment that they were in. That stress of moving, the new environment, the new people, all that stuff, all of that can really set them back socialization wise. So part of maintaining that is understanding it and making sure that when they move and their environment changes and the people around them change, you give them enough time and, really let them settle in. This little guy is such a climber. He's like Spider-Man. You really got to get him some other stuff to climb on. I got you, bud. You ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna let you fall. I'm not going to. See, this is definitely one of those monitors that has already been socialized. No worries about this guy at all. I'm not the least bit worried about him biting me. The only thing is he's a little energetic. And like I said, he's had a few days to calm down and kind of get to know me a little bit, get to know his environment. But this is the first time he's been in here. But he's a good boy. Now, you guys will hear me talk a lot when we talk about retics, about them being a double-edged sword. They can be the easiest animals in the world to work with, or they can be the toughest animals to work with. And it all depends on the relationship that you've got with them, how strong your back is once they mature. But it's kind of similar with these guys. Asian water monitors are the third largest monitor lizard on the planet, behind the Komodo dragon and the crocodile monitor. Then there's the Asian water monitor. Then there is the Nile monitor. There may be another one in there. My sequence may be a little bit off, but for the most part, that's how they line up. So these guys naturally get bigger than Niles over there. Of course, breeding has something to do with that. Some of the ones that I've seen, Aubrey breeding, and some of the ones that Kevin's got don't get quite as big, which is nice because you still get that Asian water monitor demeanor. So the thing to keep in mind about these guys is they get pretty big. And you can see, even with this guy right here, that's really friendly, he's also really energetic. And anytime you're interacting with these guys, sometimes you've got to control them in a way that they don't want to be controlled. Sometimes you've got to move them when they don't want to be moved, or you've got to keep them from going someplace where they're going to get in trouble. And so there's still some handling considerations of these guys that you really got to be concerned about. And he's finally starting to wear himself out because we've been in here for a little while. Actually, come here, bud. Let me put you in the water. Come on. There you go. Get in there and get a drink and relax for a minute. So over time here, I can show you guys a little bit about how he's socialized and what we can do and kind of demonstrate some of the things that you do to him. But like I said, he's already there. He's just young and he's energetic. And that brings me to the point with working with these guys. Now, some people, they'll wear long sleeves, leather jackets, whatever it is, hoodies and all that stuff. I just can't bring myself to do that. One, because it's always between 75 and 80 degrees down here in the reptile room, 60% humidity, and I'm not going to be sitting down here in a leather jacket. I sweat enough down here as it is. But, it's for me, I think it's just honesty and handling. They've got claws. They've got 20 of them, and they've got really powerful legs. They've got really powerful teeth and tails, and those are things that we've just got to learn to work with if we're going to keep these guys. Now, you're going to get scratched up a little bit. Sometimes people are going to look at you funny when you show up and your arms are all scratched up, but if you don't like it, there's always guinea pigs. Monitor lizards may not be the one for you. If you like interacting with these guys, they're going to get you. But there's things that you can do to kind of mitigate it a little bit. And as soon as he gets out of his water here, I'll pick him up. You've seen a little bit of me moving him around. But what I found is the best way to do it is to get their body right on your forearm, let their legs kind of wrap around a little bit. And if you support them like that, grab their tail behind their legs if you need to move them around and stuff. A lot of times they'll just sit there real pleasantly. They may wrap their legs around, and when it's time for them wanting to start go, they'll start running those claws over you. But it's kind of like a snake in that respect. And you'll see sometimes if I'm trying to hold him and he's trying to get away. See, this is all new for him. This is the first time he's been in here. I wanted to get that tub of water in here to kind of help clean him up a little bit and get some of that dry skin off of him, because he's really gorgeous boy. Got that really full yellow to him and stuff. But monitor lizards are about the nastiest animal you can keep. These guys love their mud. They love to turn their water bowl into a toilet bowl and then sleep in it. So they do require a lot of attention. As cool as these guys are to work with, I definitely rate monitor lizards as an expert level animal to keep for a couple of reasons. If they're not socialized, you're going to have a fight on your hands, and a lot of times they're going to come pretty close to winning. When you get a lizard that's Nile size, when they're 6 foot plus, if they don't like you, you've got a problem, because they're really hard to manage. At that size, the power in their limbs, the claws, power in their jaws will really put a hurting on you. But let's say, for instance, they're very well socialized, they're friendly animals, you never have to worry about getting bit. Well, you've got to worry about the size of the enclosure. You see what I'm sitting in here? When you work with these guys, you want to have a space big enough to where they can get in, run around, you can share the space with them, and you don't have to impose. I can just sit here and talk. He's going to sit there in his water until he decides he wants to come out. I'm not really going to mess with him unless he starts going someplace that I need to pull him back. But, this is one of the ways to get him comfortable with you. Probably the best way to do it. This is what I've done with Niles. I'll just sit in here and have coffee in the morning. Of course, this is all up, and he's sitting back there basking. But, this is the kind of environment you got to have for these guys. So once you get past the, getting them socialized, getting them friendly, having the space for them, now you still got to handle them. And, everybody that has these animals wants to interact with them. But, just like this guy, he's friendly, but he's high energy. So when you've got a hold of him, he's always wanting to go someplace else. And you really got to watch these guys, because monitor lizards are notorious for when they get up, they want to get up as high as they can. They want to instantly climb. And actually, the first time I handled him when we was over at Aubrey's place, I just opened up the enclosure and just wanted to get a feel for his demeanor. what he was like before he experienced the move and everything, so that I could see how much he changed, if at all, moving from there to here. And fortunately in this case, I can say his demeanor hasn't changed at all. It was feeding day when we was over there, so he was really excited. But we just had our feeding day here a couple days ago, so he's full, and he's just got the best personality. He's just young, and he's hyper, and he wants to run around. He wants to check stuff out. It's an all new environment for him. So everything that I see from this guy right now is all positive. It's all really awesome to see. It's cool just sitting in here and hanging out with him and watching him see all this new stuff, because too often our animals, they see their own enclosure. It doesn't change. They don't get a whole lot of new stuff in their life, which is why I love taking these guys outside in the summertime and just letting them roam around and whatnot. Being able to do this now in this space is really awesome too, because it's really enriching for them to be able to just come in here and roam around, check out something different, move around a little bit more than they can in their regular enclosure. So that makes me happy. You want to come see me? Or you still want to get out? You need to stay in here and soak for a little while and get some of that skin off of you, crazy. This is one thing I really can't wait for when I get a bigger place, is I want to have a big water feature available for these guys that they can just get in and swim in. They definitely need that. And they're called water monitors for a reason. They excel in the water. It's a big sense of security for them too, because if they're being predated on land, they can just jump into a body of water and disappear. Not too many things are going to be able to outswim them and catch them once they get in the water. And this guy too, once I get some of that shed off of him, you can already see some of them colors, patterns and stuff starting to come through. He's really a gorgeous animal. And we're going to spend a bunch of time in here like this, on and off, just letting him explore. What do you think, man? So as you guys can see, like I said, there's not a whole lot of socialization going on here. Aw, I just got the sideways tongue. That's the holy grail of monitor lizard keeping right there. As soon as you see that sideways tongue coming out, you know you got them. You know they're cozy. But like I said, man, the biggest thing with these guys is just handling them. This you're not going to be able to cuddle with these guys like you do your puppy dog most of the time. Not when they're young and they want to run around and stuff like that. Just like I said, this is about the best way I've found to manage these guys, is to just try and stay right in the middle of their body. You're keeping them supported. Whoa, and once those legs get on your arms, man, that's it. Man. Come on, bud. See? I'm trying to get him to calm down a little bit, but he is not wanting nothing to do with it. He wants to get out and run around. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? There you go. Get on up there and check stuff out. There you go. There's a good boy. These guys are incredibly intelligent. Definitely among the most intelligent reptiles you're ever going to work with. They're kind of bird-like in their responses to stuff. But, man, they're so much fun. So I'm going to go in there, take some Listerine to my arms, scrub all that stuff down and get good and disinfected. And I should have him out here in the next couple days. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about him, see how he's doing. So I really hope you guys enjoyed meeting him. By the way, we decided on the name Frazier. since we've got Niles here, so we got brothers. And he's going to be a lot of fun to work with. He's going to be a lot of fun to share with you guys. And of course, over the next few weeks, we're going to get a lot more time in working with him, doing different stuff. And really can't wait for it to warm up outside, because these guys do love their time outside, getting out and getting some exercise in the fresh air. And I'm sure he's going to be no different. So make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Keep up with the stuff that's coming up with him in the future. And I'm going to link, again, the Nile Monitor series, the whole playlist, in the end screen here, so you can click on that, look at the stuff that we've done on those monitor lizards, and we'll see you guys next time on Intrepid Exotics.